guys, welcome back. We are going to be talking CREB Board of Directors and the upcoming election and our two endorsed candidates.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Endorsed candidates.
So, okay, so first of all, we have Christian Twomey,
yes,
who is a RE/MAX Realtor, and
at RE/MAX Landon.
RE/MAX Landon, and we have heard such great things about Christian, and talked to so many people that said nothing but great things about your philanthropic endeavors, things like that. The way you've given back, tons of experience.
Thanks,
so
Lindsay.
Thanks
Thanks
for
very
coming
much.
on. Yeah,
and thanks for having me. You talked early on in the show about what you're grateful for, and I'm just grateful to be here today and to have an opportunity to stand in front of you guys. So
awesome.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And Chloe McAra, who you all know so well, and Chloe, who's going to talk about her background, has done so much from political action and a few other things, and has run brokerages and is absolutely outstanding. So, Chloe, obviously,
Thank you.
You're our number one vote, and you're our 1.1 vote. But still with a 1 in front.
Well, thanks.
So that's awesome.
Thank you.
And one of the things that's interesting is people would often ask, why would we be endorsing other candidates? First of all, we want the best people for the job, period.
Yep.
And that's super important. So regardless of brokerage, we want to make sure we get the right people who are going to represent us the best. And you guys have every right to vote who you want, but we're definitely endorsing these two candidates here. And in addition to that, there's actually limits to how many people per brand and per brokerage can be on the board.
Correct.
And right now we have how many, because we have a few CR people on already.
We do, yeah, we do. We have 2 on there, but one of whom is Sarah Johnson, and she's the chair. So her brand doesn't count when you're counting the brands. So,
Right.
and then Kathy Queen is the other CIR agent who's on the board too. So hopefully I will become the second one that counts.
That's right. So
Yeah.
so that still matters. And then also with RE/MAX, I know you guys have some good representation on the board.
We do, and I have no idea who exactly is on there right now.
Fair. But we looked at it, and we know that making sure that the right people within the right brands get on, because there is limits. So hence why we're maxed out. So we're throwing our support behind Chloe for the run. And Ian is coming off. We want to thank Ian Jones for his time served as well.
Yeah.
So, guys, just give us, and you did a good job of a few little pinpoints, but 60-second campaign elevator speech on your background in real estate and why you're doing this.
Go ahead, Chloe.
Me first?
Sure.
Okay. I think, well, the management team here knows that this has been on my radar for a little while. I actually had my name in the hat last year before I took this job managing the South office here. But I wanted to do CIR first, and now that I have my feet settled here, I'm ready to go with the board. But my background is, I've been in this industry for almost a decade now. I've taught at the board for many, many years. I've sat on a couple of committees there at the board, namely the Political Action Committee, so I've been lucky enough to lobby at Parliament Hill, which has been an amazing experience. And kind of, just having that background of running small brokerage and now large brokerage with you guys, I'm hoping that has given me a really well-rounded kind of approach on not only how I ran my business, but also how you guys run your businesses too, and making sure that there's someone at the table who's representing kind of the membership as a whole.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Christian, tell us about your real estate background.
So I just completed my 19th year in real estate, so I'm now on to my 20th year, and
Fantastic.
I can't even believe where the time's gone. Mm-hmm. It's incredible that it's gone that fast. But last year, when I started my 19th year, I started to have this feeling that I should get involved. It's an ever-evolving industry that we're in, and it's changing so quickly right now.
Yeah, it really is.
Crazy.
So last year I joined a task force at the CIR Real Estate Board and actually learned a ton, and kind of joined it because I wasn't happy about a lot of things, and got involved and learned a bunch, and now coming out of that, I felt that I should continue on the process and just help out as a director.
Perfect.
That's great.
Perfect. What about, I know that everyone has other skills, almost like if it's a job interview a bit, and it's like, okay, non-real estate related, you bring other stuff to the table. Christian, maybe let's start with you. What are the things in life or skills do you think prepare you to be great on the board?
For sure. So I chair a group. It's called the Revving Up for Kids Motorcycle Adventure, and it goes to help children that are affected and families that are affected with childhood cancer. We're going into our 15th year. It takes us a year to plan this ride. It's a 4-day ride, 3-night motorcycle ride, and we have riders from Grand Prairie, Fort McMurray, all the way down to Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, and we bring all these riders together in Alberta and raise a bunch of money. So over the 14 years, we've now raised over $2.8 million.
Wow.
And it's something that, I've been, heavily involved in. And like I said, I chair the planning committee that kind of puts the whole thing together. And it's been a great thing. So I've had lots of different opportunities, lots of doors that have opened through me through this industry. I've always tried to walk through them. And a lot of them are charity, kind of organizations or groups. And I feel that's my calling, right?
Perfect.
It's just to be able to give back. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Chloe?
Non-real estate. Okay. So I'm going to go back 2 seconds. And so when I first went into the industry, I sat down with a huge agent I wanted him to mentor me. And one of the questions that he asked me was, were you an athlete? And that was kind of a weird question, I thought. But once we kind of dove into it, there's something about athletes that they understand what it takes to get to the next level.
Yeah.
They understand how hard you have to work, the time you have to put in, the effort that has to be put forward. And maybe a lot of you guys don't know, but I was a national level gymnast back in my day. So that kind of skill set where, the mental preparation and the effort that goes in, those skills I learned at a really young age. So that's probably, I'm going to put that out there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love
Those
it.
are great.
Yeah.
Those are really great. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit more of a serious question. What would you say is, in your opinion, one of the biggest issues facing realtors right now? So you get on the board, you're having your first conversation, and it's, what do I think we need to talk about? What's top of mind for you?
Well, maybe we could talk about this together a
Sure.
little bit too, because when we were both, we never met until this morning, but this morning we were kind of, bouncing around ideas and talking a little bit, and it kind of feels like we're a bit under siege as an industry. Like that's maybe a bit aggressive to say, but there's.
No, I think you're hitting that nail on.
It just
there.
kind of feels like there's a whole bunch coming at us really quickly. We're
Yes.
really in a time of change right now.
Absolutely.
As an industry, and it's hard when you're in the day-to-day selling mode to really take a step back and look at that as a big picture. But there's a lot coming at us right now, and technology is obviously one of them. Robot buyers and
For sure.
robot agents and that kind of thing. And I mean, obviously the economy is an obvious answer too, but I don't know, is there anything you want to add?
I guess just to add from what Chloe was saying, we were talking earlier, and I think we're getting hit from a lot of different angles right now. And to me, the key is, and this just shows it, I'm a RE/MAX agent, and I'm right in the heart of CIR right now, which is kind of unheard of. But the reality is we're all in this together. And it's all about collaboration. We're trying to get people on the board that can work together as a collective. The Calgary Real Estate Board, we all have to remember, is a collective. We're all in this together. And we have to work together to improve our industry and continue to make realtors relevant and essential in the marketplace, in the real estate marketplace. That's the key, is how do we work together to continue our relevance and our being essential in the market.
I love how you put that.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Not only from the client perspective, keeping us relevant and understanding that, but also agents need to understand, what is our worth? What should we be doing in these transactions? And really proving that and giving us the tool set to be able to go out there and really, make our place in the market as we move forward through these changes.
And I believe wholeheartedly that unequivocally when we talk about iBuyers and things like that and business models where clients are offered Good. Okay. Adjusting mic levels on the fly. So we have, when we're talking about different business models, I believe in full service real estate. I believe that and not even full service, I know there's different business models out there, even board members and stuff, but I believe that people are better represented having a realtor on the other side of the transaction, period, overall. So in speaking to the integrity of that and protecting that, I think is absolutely key.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
great. This is my question. So this is sort of bringing us to the end, but I want to ask both of you, what advice would you give a realtor in today's marketplace? Both of you are very, very successful. You have had very successful real estate businesses and currently do. And so what advice would you give an agent in today's marketplace? Christian, let's start with you.
Wow. I think the key is, again, like for somebody that's starting out, is that what we're talking about?
No. Let's someone's been in the business and it's just like, you know what, things are just average right now. You know, things are very okay. You know, what do we do?
Okay, so that's a great question, Lindsay. I think that so often in our business, we try to keep our cards so close to our chest because we're worried about, you knowing what I'm doing in marketing or you knowing how I'm doing my market analysis or whatever. But the reality is when have we ever competed? We haven't.
Never.
Right?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, the amount of deals that you do in a year, really, we're not competing that much. And if we all shared a little bit more and collaborated and talked a little bit more, I think that would just improve our industry and improve your business. I sit on a couple different mastermind groups where, collective agents get together and we try to share. And I just came back from a conference where, again, sitting with agents and sharing ideas and, the different methods or whatever that you're using. I think that's
collaboration's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
You're speaking CIR's language right
Yeah,
now.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the language of good realtors and people that have been in the business for a long time running a good show.
Yeah. Chloe?
I think mine is predominantly around knowing your worth, like going back to, what is the value proposition and doing that for yourself. And just because, one agent is doing it one way and it's working for them, it doesn't mean that that's what's going to work for you as an agent, whether you're new or not. We're constantly trying new things in this industry, and just kind of figuring out what works for you in your business and really being consistent about it. And really what it comes down to is providing value to the client. And what you're saying about, full value real estate, without that piece, we're going to have problems as an industry without that value proposition. So figuring out what your value is and really hitting it home with your clients.
And we need to have a value proposition. I mean, there's many different business models out there, and I think that everyone has a place. And it's like if you you should be paid what your value proposition is, and knowing that you can help escalate that big time.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me in.
Can we end it quickly just because there are a lot of brand new people who may have not voted before.
Yes.
And
it's different this year.
Yes. So everyone's allowed 2 votes?
I think so.
I think they're allowed 3 votes.
You might be allowed 3.
I know for sure you're allowed 2. Are you allowed 3?
You might be allowed 3 because I believe there's 3 spots that are available.
Well, it's easy to figure out because all the voting is online and they'll guide you through it.
Yeah,
that's right.
I don't think so. We don't need to worry. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but I also know that we've had a conversation where just because you get 3 votes doesn't mean
you should use all 3.
Doesn't mean you need to use all 3 votes. Because if you actually want 1 or 2 candidates to win, let's say you really only want 1 candidate or you really want 2 candidates, it's better to just use those votes strategically because your candidates will have a better chance of winning than just kind of like picking a third for the sake of picking a third.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I would say playing Russian roulette with the future of CREB is not
it's not a good idea.
Not a smart
don't do that.
But do your homework, research your candidates. And it's different this year because there's actually only 1 day for voting.
24 hours.
Yeah, it's like the election.
Yeah. We've all had to submit bios, photos, and answer a couple of pretty generic questions about kind of our thoughts. 2 plus 2 is, I don't know. Just kidding. But it's a good way to introduce yourself to the people that are running this year. And obviously we would love for you to vote for us, but
sure.
whatever you do, just vote and make sure that you're an educated vote. As always, just make sure that you're reading the platforms and that you're,
And is there a day that we can go to CREB to meet everybody?
Yeah.
What day is that? Is that this week?
November 4th?
November 6th.
6th.
That is voting day.
It's voting day. I think
there.
in the afternoon they have that
a town
the session where you get to
go and meet everybody.
Meet everyone.
They have coffee and some
Yeah,
cookies.
and then in the afternoon around 4 o'clock, I think the voting opens until 4 o'clock the next day.
That's right. So if you go on CREB Link, there's a sign up for voting day, and I think it starts at noon or 1 o'clock. There'll be a couple sessions, meet the candidates, all that kind of stuff. I think there's actually a wine and cheese.
Yeah.
So it might be worth going. There's nothing wrong with that. And then opening, all ballots are online. It opens at 4 o'clock on November 6th and closes 4 o'clock November 7th. So within that 24-hour period, you have to get your vote in.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice and quick this year.
I've gone every year to the CREB Open Hall town when they have the thing to meet the voters, and it's so worth it.
Yeah,
It's
it really
such
is.
a good idea to go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Good luck, guys. You have our votes.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
much.
Welcome.
And remember, everybody, there is no meeting on November 11th. But next week, join us to watch Billy Afoco talking about industry trends and some important things that are happening, stuff to keep an eye on. And that's on CIR Business Mastery.
Have a really great week, and happy Halloween, everybody.
Awesome. All the best.